All right, so it's the day after Sonoma. Where are we going?
We're going to the Junkyard to see if we can pick up a whole new front end for the race car.
Yep, so after yesterday's unfortunate events, we took a look at the damage and it really doesn't look too bad. Looks like we just need some front end replacement parts and it should be good to go. We really need to figure out why it did that. So as we start pulling all the panels off and stuff like that, we're gonna check everything related to steering with the car and try and find that issue, because before we get it all back together and running again, we gotta make sure we find why it did that, or it's kind of counterproductive. All right, so what do you think? We're here now. We got all kinds of stuff, just motors and parts everywhere. So really clean too. Looks like they keep their stuff in great shape.
Yeah, I've had real good success at this place with motors. He picks out a nice one for me. They've always been good.
Yeah, no, this looks like it's in good shape.
I think it's in good shape. I think
It's
pretty clean.
it's got the stuff we need.
Be tough. I know all these gonna be mad.
You think so?
Well, it was gonna work out for the both of us, right?
Uh-huh.
To for him, to buy that car off of him, but we were gonna have a ton of extra parts.
Oh, and there's a hood too.
Yeah,
Look at that.
Absolutely. We need a hood. The hood.
Uh-huh. Yeah, nice and smooth. Yeah? I mean, seems pretty solid.
Yeah, beautiful. Our car is blue and silver. This blue's a little darker than ours, but
It's a good start, yeah.
At least we'll kind of sort of match.
If you need JDM parts for your car, go to jdmenginebay.com. You can find their shop in San Leandro, California. So all you guys in the Bay Area, check them out. They got a good lineup of product for a very reasonable price. All right, so the day after, and we're already going home with parts.
I don't like to mess around.
Yep.
Got a job to do.
It's kind of crazy when something like that happens and it's not even $1,000 mistake. So
yeah, no, we're getting lucky.
Yeah.
I mean, we got lucky that you got it slowed down enough that the impact didn't bend the frame. Uh-oh, I missed the turn. Right?
I think you can go that way.
Think so? Okay.
All right, so we're back home. We got everything out. Everything's already kind of torn apart, torn off. It's kind of just an empty shell now. Took everything we need out of it. How's it looking on the car?
Good. I used the radiator support, the top bracket out of there, but this support was pretty mangled, but it wasn't so bad that I felt I had to get in here and cut everything and re-weld it. So I just massaged it with a few hammers, and I've done this kind of stuff before, and I got it right back on the money. So I'm test fitting the fender. It seems good, and I'm test fitting the headlight. You just kind of test fit everything and make your adjustments. And I think it's going to go back together pretty smooth. The next thing right now, I think I'm where I want to be. The next thing is I'm going to start taking the steering column apart and then see why we had a jammed steering.
Yep.
And that'll be the next thing. But I think within a week,
Yeah.
I think we'll have this pretty much handled.
Uh-huh.
I mean,
yeah, it looks good. It really does. It looks like it'll be squared away. And we just got to, when we impacted all right over here, all the plastic clips, just everything that was held on with the plastic clips exploded on impact. So we got to check everything. Yep. It's looking pretty good so far. Looking really promising.
Yeah, not as bad as it looked horrible, and once we got it cleaned up, it wasn't as horrible as we thought.
All right, would you like to share with us your discoveries about the car?
Okay, so watching the video, I could see where the wheel placement was when it had its issue, right? Mm-hmm. And the marking we have for center of the wheel was off here to the side.
Yep, just a little bit. Mm-hmm.
So I took the covers off. There's a steering wheel lock, which I disabled by taking the guts and the spring, so the little slider bar can't go up, it just stays down. But I took a screwdriver and I could sneak it up, and I turned the steering wheel to that position, and that's exactly where that thing locks the steering wheel.
So the steering lock locked me out of being able to steer the car. So how did you fix it?
I took the steering column and all that stuff off.
Mm-hmm.
I looked on on YouTube on how to take the tumbler out and how to do all that stuff, and I actually physically removed that bar and then put it all back together.
I
But
see.
it's how we've always done it. I mean, all our other our Civics and Integras and stuff, we've always just taken out the spring that holds that bar up. We've never had an issue but I know that's exactly it, because you said it just locked, right?
Yeah, I had no warning. It just
And
wouldn't
it wouldn't
steer.
go anywhere.
It felt like a wheel lock. It felt exactly like a wheel lock. So.
And that's what it was. It must have been you were in the exact right spot and you hit a bump and it just chucked the little bar up, and
Yeah.
once you turned into it, it was stuck.
Yep.
I'm guaranteed that was it, because as soon as I turned the wheel, I pushed up on that little bar, I turned, click, right where it's stuck on you.
Okay.
So, we
Good
don't
to
need
know.
a steering rack or anything. You live and learn. Next time, I'll take it completely out, but we've never done it before and we've never had a problem with it. So all fixed. Now we just got to finish doing the damage repairs.
Yep, it's looking pretty good. Yeah, just coming along, and that's good to know that the steering rack's all fine. I mean, the car started functioning fine. Once I hit the wall, it acted like a regular car again, and it could steer totally fine. So,
Yeah, that was it.
yeah, I think that was it as well.
Which is really unfortunate, because that was one of those things where if I had taken it apart, to begin with, and made sure to take that bar out of there, this never would have happened. But I mean, it's been that way for 10 years.
Yeah, this car has
we've
been running 10 years like this, fine.
Hundreds
So.
of hours on the track, and it's never been a problem. But I guarantee that's what it was, because that's what it was.
Whew. All right, well, it's time for an update. This is how the front end's looking. Got a new filter for it as well. It's got the intake pipe back on. I just replaced the seal on the axle. So we were having a little leaking issue. Yeah, you can just kind of see it down there. So I replaced that seal, got all this back on. We checked out the brakes, made sure everything's gonna be okay here. Just to see, everything's still tight, nothing's bent. That kind of stuff, right? Same with the other side. Everything over here looks good. This side was basically untouched, so. But yeah, look at that bumper. We got the 04 bumper, 04 lights on it now, so. Yeah, it changed up the style a little bit, but still the same car. See how these body panels met up here. Everything seems together pretty good. So once we get it painted or wrapped or whatever we decide to do with it, things are gonna be looking pretty good. I'm actually about to go ahead and put the rims back on it, and we're gonna put it on the ground and see if it drives. So that'll be pretty awesome. Let's see if this thing is back in action. We're gonna need to take it back to the alignments shop and get that done again, but that's not too big a deal for putting your car in a wall. So how'd it go?
Good. Today's Wednesday, and it's back together.
It is back together, and there's a lot of stuff just scattered around the yard.
Oh yeah. A little
So.
cleanup will be good as new, but all it needs now is the hood hinges and a little paint. How's it going?
Enjoying that welder?
It's beautiful.
Works good?
Brand spanky new welder.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, well, I'm just getting used to it, but it seems to work like a champ.
Nice.
It has recommendations for settings, and they're way too low for what I'm used to.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I weld hot and fast, right? So I had to kind of figure out where to set it, right, to make it work. But I think I got it figured out now. That these will be welded on strong enough where they don't pop off in the middle of the track.
And to let people know what you're doing, you're currently putting new bolts in there so we can mount the splitter.
Yeah, this is how we mount the splitters. I put some, see how I make these special little bolts? And there's a washer welded on there, then the splitter goes on, and then a washer and a nut that hold it into place. There's lots of ways to do it. This is not very fancy, but has proved to be durable, because we've actually smacked the splitter on the ground and done some things. and it stays in place and doesn't give us any trouble. So I'm gonna go with what has been working. Let's go in that direction.
So our new pads came in from Summit Racing while we were out here working. The guy just dropped them off in our driveway, so I figured I'll change the pads. We're moving down to a BP20 instead of a 30, try and get less bite. Because currently, these ones bite too hard. You could see when I got on the brakes when I was gonna hit the wall. I jumped to them, and I knew I couldn't squeeze them too hard or else they'd lock. And I just kind of went over and I squeezed them, and when I squeezed them, they immediately locked and I got sent for a ride. So we still need to work on this braking system. So far, I like the way that they feel, but we need to work on the amount of force they provide because currently it's too much too soon, and that needs to be solved. So currently the car looks like it's in pretty good shape, and we're gonna pull it out, get it all washed down so we can start painting it tomorrow. Panels don't quite match color, so we got some paint and we're gonna start on that, hopefully have it done by the end of the weekend.
Headlights are on. So how'd it feel?
Feels like it should. Steering works perfectly. The car totally fine in the corners, and it seems to go straight. So I think the alignment might be the way it should be, which is really good if it is. I still think we should have it checked, but it feels great, and it doesn't seem to have any issues at all. Oil pressure looks good, and it stays idling fine.
Okay, so beautiful. All right, back it in, and let's get started.
There it is. I can't believe we got this thing back on the ground and ready for paint in under a week. That's crazy that it could go from a hit in turn 10 on Sunday to being back on the ground and good to go in that amount of time. We got super lucky with that incident. I really hope nothing like that ever happens again, and we can just keep pushing on forward. We're definitely going to be ready by the time USTCC 2022 round 1 comes up, which I'm super excited for. So we made a lot of progress with the RSX in such a short amount of time. By Wednesday, we already had it ready for paint. So in the next video, we're gonna start on paint, we're gonna finish the car up, and we're gonna take it out and test it. So you guys will get to follow along for that. I'm super grateful that nothing too bad ended up happening with the car after the accident, and we're getting this thing pumped out and ready to go. So I'll see you guys in the next video. Leave a like if you enjoyed, leave a comment down below if there's something you wanna see next. Been Sean Milburn with Milburn Motorsports, and I'll see you guys in the next video.